What's going on, guys? Today it's just the launch week patch notes, big major changes to weapons, as well as the free Nuketown weapon bundle, so make sure you tune in, and here we go. So starting off, Treyarch pretty much gave everyone a free Nuketown weapon bundle, and speaking of Nuketown, don't forget that I believe Nuketown's coming out soon, so keep out an eye on that. On top of that, there has been major balance changes on the assault rifles, as well as the MP5s and the tactical rifles. And what do you know? I've called it, and I was right. The M16 and the AUG have gotten received nerfs. So let's start off with the assault rifles first of all. So this one caught me by surprise, the FFAR-1. Let me grab it up for you guys to see. So the FFAR-1 really is something I did not expect to see it receiving any changes, but apparently this thing was kind of strong according to Treyarch, and they have decided to mess around with the recoil, increased it, and as well slightly reduced the max damage by 3.5%. So it went down from 28 max damage to 27, as well as reducing the max damage range by a whopping of 34%. And this one is, in my opinion, more huge of a nerf than the reduced damage. So from 38 meters, its effective range of 38 meters, to only 25 meters. So that's huge. This weapon, which I guess was a dark horse that was apparently really good, but it's now been nerfed by Treyarch. So there's that. Moving on to that, we have a reiteration of the MP5s, but what I've heard so far is they have bugged it. The MP5 right now, as it is, it's supposed to be nerfed, like I said before, with the base effective range by 33%. However, from what I'm hearing right now, Treyarch actually reverted the patch of the nerfs. So right now the MP5 is as strong as it was before the nerfs. So it's pretty much the best gun again in the game. Pretty sure this will get fixed in a couple days, but we'll have to keep out an eye on that. Alright, and here it is, the bread and butter of this game that I've called. We have the M16 and the AUG. These two have finally been hit by the nerf hammer, similar to the MP5. I was saying that it was too strong for the game, and what do you know, Treyarch agreed. They reduced the max damage range by a whopping 20% for the M16, 38.1 meters to 30.48 meters, increased the sprint to fire time, slightly slowed move speed while firing, slightly increased delay between bursts, rebalanced fire rate bonuses on barrel attachment, and slightly reduced effectiveness of laser attachment. What this means is that it's basically slower to ADS, slower to shoot between the bursts, and now the hip firing is not as good. I'll have to look at what they mean by rebalancing the fire rate bonuses on the barrel attachment, but I'm assuming they reduced the firing rate. So it's a huge nerf overall to the M16. Going down this list, we have Tactical Rifle Charlie being nerfed, and that's just the AUG, as you can see, and they gave it the same treatment. They reduced the damage range by a whopping of 20%, increased the sprint to fire time, and pretty much did the same that they did with M16, increasing the burst, delay between bursts, and rebalancing a bunch of the attachments. Alright, so beside that, we have the Type 63. They have slightly increased the fire rate and rebalanced fire rates bonuses on barrel attachment. So I can assume this is a buff. So the Type 63, as you can see here, it's pretty much the FAL of this game, I would say. It's a semi-auto rifle, right? But it wasn't very good. So I'm glad that they are giving this a little love and attention. This wasn't a very good gun. It pretty much only competed in medium distances, losing to anything else in the far distance and the close range. So I'm glad that's getting some love. Along with that, DMR-14, same thing as Type 63. It's got some love as well. Same treatment, increased firing rate, and rebalancing barrel attachment. Alright, moving on to the light machine guns. The M60, they decided to buff it by improving the max damage range as well as improved movement speeds. I don't know how to feel about this. I personally think that instead of that, they need to buff the ADS, but maybe this was what was needed for it. Again, I don't play too much with the LMGs in this game or any other game really, so I'll have to withhold my opinion on this one. But it's a buff overall, so you know, can't say it's too bad. Alright, so moving on to the most controversial category of all, and that is the sniper rifle. So in the patch note, they claim that they've adjusted sprint to firing time to account for early blend interruption allowed via animation system. The effective sprint to fire time is notably shorter than what is displayed in Gunsmith. We have plans to address the Gunsmith readout in a future update. Adjusted movement speed impacts on firing to intended value. Okay, so that doesn't matter, right? But what does matter is how they essentially nerfed it, and all that fancy wording you can basically view as a nerf. So what they're saying right now is, right now, sprint to fire time, this little stat right here, the sprint to fire time is too fast apparently, so it's not lining up correctly with the animation, right? And what this means is they actually made it more of a delay for you to pretty much sprint to fire, and that's basically a nerf in itself. So this is what I was fearing. They did not fix the snipers, but instead they decided to nerf it even more down the line. This is troublesome in my opinion. I already feel like snipers are already down in the damn gutter, but hey, what do I know? I guess snipers need more of a nerf because it's not like they're, you know, at the damn bottom tier of the barrel already. Well, I hope Treyarch really addresses this issue right now. That's fine for them to make sure that the numbers line up correctly, which they should have already been in the first place, but hey, I digress. I just hope they fix this in the later future. Buff the snipers, please, Treyarch. Buff the snipers. Anyways, moving on, pistols. They improved the firing rate of the Magnum, as well as improving max damage range, and improved the visibility while firing after the first shot. They just buffed it by pretty much firing rate, damage, and visibility. I'm assuming the muzzle flare is too crazy, and they toned that down. Shotguns as well received damage reduction between ranges 5.8 to 7.7 meters, so that's a nerf all in itself. So that pretty much wraps it up in terms of the changes we see in the current meta. A lot of the big meta gun, the Holy Trinity, like as I like to call them, the MP5, the M16, and the AUG, has gone receive nerfs, and I'm glad they did. This should shake up the gameplay quite a bit, hopefully encouraging people to try out other weapons. So beside the weapon changes, we see a big change in the score streak system, and that is nerfs to the combat bow, reducing its ammo by 1 from 5 to 4, as well as increasing a bunch of the costs for the score streaks. Care package have been increased, Napalm Strike, Air Patrol, Artillery, Cruise Missile, War Machine, Attack Helicopter, and they all have been increased in terms of the cost to, you know, call them in. Beside that, the only one that slightly got a buff was the Sentry Turret, and Air Patrol. Air Patrol also got a reduced cost. So Sentry Turret reduced cost from 2k to 1.8k, as well as Air Patrol getting its reduction from 3.2 to 2.7, and that's pretty cool. But other than that, the other popular score streaks are basically, you need more points to unlock them now. Attack Helicopter got a semi buff, semi nerf, because while they did increase the cost from 4k to 4.5, they did increase the damage from 50 to 75 per bullet, as well as increase the health of the helicopter by 500. Along with that, they decreased the duration of the screen shake from bullet impacts, reduced the amount of time the helicopter will stay in one place before relocating. So that means there's more chance for the helicopter to fly around the map attacking more people. Pretty cool. Chopper Gunner, increased cost, and VTOL, they actually reduced the cost. That's pretty cool. Other than that, this kind of wraps it up for the patch notes. The rest are basically what I call bugs and stability issues that they needed to fix, and that's pretty much in the patch note itself. Make sure you guys head out onto the link. I'll put it down in the description. You guys can go check it out yourself. it will be a much more detailed overview than what I've been talking about so far. I just wanted to cover the basic bare bones minimum and what is really important to me and a lot of people who have been looking at the patch notes for. Obviously, bugs and connection issues, they're going to improve over time, but what people are really looking for is, right, the game balance changes, and this is what's going on right now. So I can't wait until Nuketown comes out soon. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm signing out. Peace out, guys.